but they were an opportunity for him to grow. In fact, the second big idea is that the normal Christian life is a life of progressive maturity that grows out of personal crisis. The crisis in our life is not a mistake. When we hit disappointments, when we hit failures, when we hit those seasons that we hate, where we feel like we're treated unfairly, when we look at our life and think, God, how did you drop the ball? How did you allow them to get away with the thing that they've gotten away with? Those are not mistakes. I mean, it's hard to read the story of Jacob and the way Laban treated him and not feel some sense of injustice, as bad as Jacob was. I mean, at first there's a sort of sense that, okay, Jacob, man, he was a deceiver. He tricked his brother in the ugliest way possible. So maybe he deserved a little bit of this stuff that came his way. But the guy got fooled into marrying the wrong woman. It just doesn't seem fair. And yet none of it was a mistake. This is the normal Christian life. See, it's not a matter of if, but when we have a faith crisis. And it's not going to happen just once. It's going to happen over and over again. See, what we often call a crisis of faith is simply the normal Christian life. I hope you see that by now. I hope you see that your story is not an anomaly. You look at any character in Scripture, example in Scripture, and Paul tells us in Romans 15 that we are given those examples in Scripture to help us. And so it's not a matter of avoiding the crisis, but understanding what's happening through the crisis. See, God uses our faith crisis to reveal our greatest fears. What is it that you're afraid of? Think about it. Write it down. What is it that you dread the most? God uses our faith crisis to destroy our biggest idols. Jacob feared his brother. His idol probably was his comfort. He didn't want problems. Remember, Esau was a guy of the field. Jacob was a homebody. He liked to cook meals and be comfortable. And so from the minute God pushes him out of the house, he goes and starts this life of adventure. It's not what he wants. He wants comfort. We all strive for comfort. That might be an idol in some of our life. We've got to ask those questions. What is your crisis? Your present disappointment, your present pain, what is it revealing about the things that you value? See, God uses our faith crisis, ultimately, even more importantly, not just to destroy our fears and to eradicate our idols, but also to deepen our intimacy with Him. There's a theophany in Genesis 32. God doesn't just show up to Jacob in a dream. There's a physical presence of God happened only a handful of times in the Old Testament. And Jacob is so aware of it in the morning that he says, man, I'm going to call this Peniel because I saw God face to face. This is so powerful. Jacob was a changed man after this. Listen, his problems didn't stop after this, but he had a better understanding of who God is.